आई थिंक बंद हो गई लाइव स्ट्रीम। हेलो 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 हेलो
हेलो हेलो हेलो
हेलो
हेलो
एवरीवन। आई एम श्रेयांश एंड हम लोग आज कवर
हेलो
करेंगे।
एवरीवन।
दिस इज़ नॉट अ क्लास।
आई एम श्रेयांश एंड
देखो भाई, मैं आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस बुक फॉर माई सेल्फ so that I can improve my trading. If this benefits you, then it's good for you. Please sit and enjoy the book. चैप्टर 1 से स्टार्ट करेंगे। आई हैव कांट डू द इंट्रोडक्शन पार्ट, बहुत लंबा हो जाएगा। बेसिक इन्फॉर्मेशन है एंड आई नो अबाउट इट। सो इफ़ यू वांट तो इंट्रोडक्शन आप चार जीपीटी से पढ़ लिएगा। यहाँ पे मैं सर चैप्टर वाइज चैप्टर खुद ही के लिए एक्सप्लेन करूँगा। अगर आप समझ पाए तो आप भी समझने का ट्राई करें, वरना इट्स ओके। थैंक यू। चैप्टर 1। बहन चूद कहाँ पर रह गया? पार्ट 1, प्राइस एक्शन। अब इसको हम क्या करेंगे, इसको बहुत ही ज़्यादा सिंप्लीफाई करेंगे। The most useful definition of price action for a trader is also the simplest. It is any change in price or any type of chart or any time frame. भाई, प्राइस में कभी भी जो भी चेंज होता है किसी भी टाइम फ्रेम पे, किसी भी चार्ट पे, that is the simplest definition of the price action. The smallest unit of change is the tick, which has different values of each market. या तो ऐसे करें या तो हम पैराग्राफ वाइज कर लेते हैं। आई थिंक पैराग्राफ वाइज ज़्यादा सही रहेगा, सिंप्लीफाई रहेगा। Explain it in simple terms. एक्सप्लेन करते हैं बस। स्टार्टिंग है प्राइस एक्शन की, टर्म्स हम बाद में चेक करेंगे, बट चेक करेंगे। A trader doesn't start with indicators, news or opinions. A trader first look at price changing. Every small move down, every pause, every breakout, every reversal, every overlap between bars, every strong close, every weak close. This is all price action. Break it down simply. If the price moves from 100 to 101, this is price action. If it says at 100 for many trades and then suddenly drops to 99.80, this is price action. If one candle has big bull body, this is price action. हर चीज़ price action है. If the next candle has a long tail and closes weakly, अपसाइड की तरफ भी लॉन्ग टेल है, और वीकली क्लोज करती है। आई मीन वीकली कैंडल नहीं, वीकली मतलब कमज़ोर तरीके से बंद होती है, मतलब काफ़ी लंबी टेल है उस पर, ये भी प्राइस एक्शन है। सो प्राइस एक्शन इज़ नॉट सम स्पेशल प्लेटफॉर्म और पैटर्न ओनली, इट इज़ ऑल विजिबल बिहेवियर ऑफ प्राइस। चार्ट पे जो कुछ भी हो रहा है, एवरीथिंग इज प्राइस एक्शन। नाउ व्हाट इज अ टिक? The passage says the smallest unit of price change is a tick. That means the minimum amount of price can move in that market. A tick is the smallest unit of price change in American market. For example, in many stocks, the smallest move is about from 0.01 to 0.01 from rupees to dollars. In futures, the tick size may be something like 0.25. So if the price can only move in only minimum step, each such step is tick. जो हल्का हल्का मूव फ्लक्चुएशन होता है ना, वो हर एक फ्लक्चुएशन एक टिक को डिनोट करता है मार्केट में. So the word tick is also used in another way. It can mean each individual trade that happen. हर एक टिक एक ट्रेड को दिखाता है जो मार्केट में हो रही है, मार्केट में जगह ले रही है, लाइव मार्केट में. So they can mean the smallest price increment. They can also mean one transaction printed on the tape. हाँ भाई, एक इतना लिया इतने बेचा, वो खरीद बेच एक टिक में आई अपनी. This is what the author says. The word has two meaning. The deeper trading idea. The most important point is this: a trader should treat every change in price and as information. चार्ट में कहीं भी कोई भी चेंजेस आ रहा है, हर एक चेंज को आप इंफॉर्मेशन की तरह यूज़ करेंगे. क्यों? बिकॉज द मार्केट इज कॉन्स्टेंटली कम्युनिकेटिंग थ्रू प्राइस. Because the market is constantly communicating through price, the small movement that looks unimportant at first may later turn out to be the first clue of a breakout, an exhaustion, trap traders, trend continuations, reversal pressure. This is what the author says. You need a broad definition of price action. He's warning you not to think like this. Only big candle matters. Only chart pattern matters. Only my setup matters. Not even a tiny detail can matter. No, even a tiny detail can matter in the right direction, in the right context. हर एक डिटेल मैटर करती है चार्ट में. सिर्फ बड़ी कैंडल हैं या कुछ सर्टेन चार्ट पैटर्न है वही काम करते हैं, या फिर यही सेटअप चलेगा इस मार्केट में. चीज़ें होती हैं ऐसी, बट ये एक ऑब्जेक्टिविटी तो देता है आपको, बट एक सर्टेन एरिया की ऑब्जेक्टिविटी देता है, जो उसी एरिया में काम करेंगे, उसके बाहर काम नहीं करेंगे. वेयर एज you should have the overall knowledge of price action which is happening every moment in the chart. At first, these may look minor, but together they may be telling you selling pressure is weakening. अच्छा, एग्जाम्पल की तरह देखते हैं. लाइक सपोज मार्केट इज इन अ बियर ट्रेंड, ओके, देन सडनली यू सी वन स्ट्रॉन्ग बुल बार. मार्केट एक बियर ट्रेंड में जा रहा है, अचानक से एक बुल बार आता है, देन अनदर बार दैट डज नॉट फॉल मच. फिर उसके बाद का फॉलो थ्रू बार है, वो ज़्यादा गिरता नहीं है, मतलब अपने हाई पे क्लोज होता है. देन अ स्मॉल पुल बैक दैट स्टेज अबव द लो. फिर उसके बाद एक पुल बैक आता है जो प्रायर बार के लो से अबव था. एट फर्स्ट दीज में लुक माइनर, बट टुगेदर दे में बी टेलिंग यू सेलिंग प्रेशर इज वीकनिंग. हाँ भाई, क्योंकि एक बड़ा बार आया, उसके बाद फॉलो थ्रू बार भी था, उसके बाद पुल बैक जो करंट बार की लाइक प्रायर बार की लो को उसने ब्रेक नहीं किया. Buyers are starting to defend, और like buyers are starting to defend. यहाँ पे हो सकता है this is a possible reversal also. Buyers आ गए हैं वापस to take control of the market, or this could just be a pullback also in a bear trend. So what is the real message? The real message is price action is the language of the market. Every change, every price change is a word. Every price change is a word. Every bar is a sentence. A trader job is to read the language carefully. Price action is a type of language that you, जैसे हर एक लैंग्वेज होती है आप सीखते हो, गूगू गागा कुछ भी बोलते रहते हो, बट एक पैटर्न होता है हर एक लैंग्वेज का. That means certain things will mean this or that. Same thing applies to price action. This is a language. Same thing applies to price action. This is a language. और इस लैंग्वेज को सीखने के लिए आपको हर एक बार पे फोकस करना पड़ेगा, हर एक बार पे अटेंशन देनी पड़ेगी. Now let's move on to the next line. पैरा बाई पैरा करेंगे. Though we are going to read this also. The most useful definition of the price action for a trader is also the simplest. It is any change in the price of any type of chart or time frame. The smallest unit of change is a tick, which has different value for each market. Incidentally, a tick has two meaning. It is the smallest unit of change in price that a market can make, which for most stock is a penny. It is also every trade that takes place during the day. So each entry on a time and sales table is tick. Even if it is as same as the prior trade, every time the price changes, that change is an example of price action. There is no universally accepted definition of the price action, and since you always need to try to be aware of even the seemingly least significant piece of information that the market is offering. ये वाली लाइन इम्पॉर्टेंट है. वी शुड यहाँ पे emphasis देना चाहिए. You always try to be aware of even the seemingly least significant piece of information. You are aware of the smallest change on the chart that the market is offering you. You must have a very broad definition. So that's why you cannot dismiss anything, and you need to be aware of the smallest change on the chart, because very often something that initially appears minor leads to a great trade. Okay, this is okay. Now this. Now explain this. पहले पैसेज को पढ़ लेते हैं, उसके बाद आते हैं अपनी रीडिंग पे. The definition alone does not tell you anything about the placing a trade, because every bar is potential signal for both short and long trade. There are traders out there. There are traders out there who will be looking to short the next tick because they believe that the market won't go one tick higher, and others who will buy it believing the market will likely not go one tick lower. मतलब एक सोच रहा है मार्केट इससे नीचे नहीं जाएगा तो यहाँ पे बाई कर लेता हूँ, एक सोच रहा है मार्केट इससे ऊपर नहीं जाएगा तो यहाँ पे सेल कर देता हूँ. दे माइट बी लुकिंग एट द सेम चार्ट, और वो दोनों एक ही चार्ट पे देख रहे हैं. एक ट्रेडर को बुलिश पैटर्न दिखाई दे रहा है और दूसरा सोच रहा है ये एक बेयरिश पैटर्न है. They might be relying on fundamental data or any of the thousand other reasons for their opinion. One side will be right and other will be wrong. If the bias are wrong and the market goes one tick lower and then another, they will begin to entertain the prospect that the their belief is wrong. At some point, they will have to sell their position at a loss, making them new sellers and no longer buyer. And this will drive the market down further. Sellers will continue to enter the market either as new short or as long, forced to liquidate until some point where more buyers starts coming in. These buyers will be combination of the new buyers, profit taking shots, new shots, and who will now have a loss will and also will have to convert their position. The market will always continue up until the process reverses once again. Price moves because trader keeps getting proved wrong and then forced to act. Pri- Price moves because trader keeps getting proved wrong and they are forced to act. That's why price moves. This is the heart of it. Price moves because traders keep getting proved wrong and they are forced to act. This is the heart of it. Start from the first line. The author says, just knowing what price action is does not automatically tells you when to buy and when to sell. आपको बस ये पता चल गया प्राइस एक्शन क्या है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं आपको ये पता चल जाएगा कि कहाँ पे बाई करना है, कहाँ पे सेल करना है. क्यों? बिकॉज एवरी बार कैन बी रेड इन मोर देन वन वे. क्योंकि हर एक बार को एक ट्रेडर अपने तरीके से इंटरप्रेट कर सकता है. द सेम कैंडल कैन मेक one trader think bulls are taking control and another trader think this is only a weak bounce in a bear trend. So the chart does not come with the label saying buy here or sell here. Yeah, exactly. जो सेम बार आपको एक एक्सप्लेनेशन दे रहा है खुद की, तो उसको इंटरप्रेट करने का तरीका हर ट्रेडर का अपना हो सकता है. एक बुल बार है तो एक ट्रेडर सोच सकता है कि अच्छा यहाँ से कंटिन्यूशन आगे जाएगा तो मैं यहाँ पे बाई करता हूँ. एक है सोच रहा है मैं सेल कर देता हूँ क्योंकि काफ़ी ऊपर आ गए हैं. दिस कुड बी अ पोटेंशियल रिवर्सल. और यहाँ पे डबल टॉप है तो डबल टॉप पे सेल करते हैं या बाई करते हैं. मतलब एक एक रेजिस्टेंस पे दोनों तरह के ट्रेडर होंगे. जो ये सोच रहे होंगे कि ये रेजिस्टेंस ब्रेक होगा तो प्राइस नीचे जाएगा. कुछ होंगे जो सोचेंगे यहाँ से प्राइस फिर से रेंज में वापस चला जाएगा. तो एवरी बार हैज़ बायर एंड सेलर. So the chart does not come with the label saying buy here or sell here. The chart is the same interpretation. The chart is the same. Interpretations are different. भाई चार्ट एक है उसको इंटरप्रिटेशन करने का तरीका अलग अलग है. Why two traders can disagree on the same chart? दो ट्रेडर एक ही चार्ट ट्रेड कर रहे हैं बट वो एक ही चार्ट को अलग अलग तरीके से कैसे इंटरप्रेट कर सकते हैं ये देखते हैं. बिकॉज ट्रेडर्स ब्रिंग डिफरेंट बिलीव्स. वन focuses on trend, one focuses on support resistance, one looks at fundamental, one sees sharp traders, one is scalping, one is swing trading. So at the same price, one trader buys accept higher prices. प्रॉफिट ही होता है वैसे फालतू में एग्जिट करवा दिया. नेवर माइंड. At the same price, one trader buys accepting high prices, expecting high prices, another sells expecting lower prices. But both cannot be right in the immediate move. Then what decides the move? The market decides. Suppose buyers enter because they believe price will go up. But instead price goes one tick lower, then one tick lower, then another tick lower. Now something important happens. The buyer begin to think maybe I was wrong. मैंने गलत ट्रेड ले ली यहाँ पे. Even though this was a continuation setup, but तीन टिक जाने के बाद maybe I am wrong. So what should I do? The best thing to cut your losses early is the right thing to do. You just sell it. भांगो सड़ा नहीं चाहिए कुछ. Now something important happens. The buyers begin to think, maybe I was wrong. At first, they hope. They then they doubt. At first, they hope. Then they doubt. Then they feel pressure. Then they exit. How do they exit? They sell. This is the key point. A trader who entered up as a buyer can later become a seller, not because he turned bearish philosophically, but because he's forced out of the long position. The selling pushes the market down even more. So why does price often fall fast? Because there are multiple kind of sellers hitting the market at the same time. यहाँ पे थोड़ा रिपीट करते हैं. This is the key point. A trader who entered as a buyer can later become a seller, not because he turned bearish philosophically, but because he's forced out of the losing position. भाई कितना लूज करोगे, एग्जिट कर दो. या तो पैसे बचाओ तो एग्जिट करो, या तो होल्ड करो होप में. And hope is poison in the market. So why, especially on smaller time frame, so why does price often fall fast? Because अब प्राइस इतना जल्दी गिरता क्यों इतना ज़्यादा? बिकॉज देयर आर मल्टीपल काइंड ऑफ सेलर्स हिटिंग द मार्केट एट द सेम टाइम. सेलर सिर्फ एक टाइप की नहीं होती जो सेल करते हैं. न्यू शॉर्ट्स देखते हैं कितने टाइप के होता है. न्यू शॉर्ट्स, these are traders who freshly believe the market is weak and want to sell. Longs liquidating, मतलब एक बार ट्रेंड स्टैब्लिश हो गया, अच्छा रिवर्सल आ गया, उसके बाद फिर कंटिन्यूएशन के लिए ट्राई करते हैं. और वो ट्रेडर जो बिलीव कर रहे हैं कि मार्केट करंट प्राइसेस से ऊपर जाएगा, दीज या आई मीन करंट प्राइसेस से नीचे जाएगा क्योंकि इतनी ज़्यादा सेलिंग हो चुकी है, दीज आर न्यू शॉर्ट्स. एंड लॉन्ग्स लिक्विडेटिंग, दीज आर ट्रैप बायर्स गेटिंग आउट एट अ लॉस. भाई जिन्होंने बाई किया था एंड दे वर होपिंग दैट द प्राइसेस विल गो अप, बट इंस्टेड ऑफ गोइंग अप द प्राइसेस जस्ट शॉट डाउन. तो वहाँ से भाई उनको एग्जिट करना पड़ेगी कि लूजिंग पोजीशन थी. तो दैट एडेड both create sell pressure. Longs liquidating also creates sell pressure. So a decline is often not just bears. अब देखिए how longs liquidating works. आपने एक स्टॉक सेल किया था मार्केट में, means you were hoping the market to fall. I mean sorry, you have bought the market for longs liquidating, होपिंग कि यहाँ से प्राइस रिवर्स करेगा और इसके इस लेवल के ऊपर मैं बाई कर लूँगा. तो वहाँ से तो मार्केट रिवर्स नहीं किया बट और नीचे चला गया. अब एक कैंडल नीचे गया, आपने सोचा मैं यहाँ पे ख़रीद लेता हूँ वापस, या मतलब बेच देता हूँ. तो आपकी क्षमता वहाँ तक थी, तो आपने एक कैंडल में बेच दिया. कोई 3 कैंडल की क्षमता लेके बैठा है, कोई 10 कैंडल की क्षमता लेके बैठा है. तो डिपेंड करता है कि how much or like what kind of trader are you, long term trader, short term trader. For the short term trader, I think the best is to exit the very next candle and then look for a higher probability setup that can have a good follow through, basically follow the trend. So both create sell pressure. So decline is often not just bear or strong, it is also bulls are giving up. That is why moves can accelerate. Then why does the market later rise? The exact same process happens in reverse. After enough selling, the market reaches a point where more buying starts appearing. Those buyers who also come from different groups, like new buyers, they think the price is now cheap or the selling is overdone. Shorts taking profit. A short trader must buy to close the trade. So, profit taking by shorts create buying pressure. Shorts trapped in a bad position. The market starts rising against them. They may panic and buy back to wait to exit. This is called short covering. So, again, the market rises not because bulls are bullish, not just because bulls are bullish, but also because bears are being forced to buy back. This is the deeper market mechanism. A market is a constant cycle of belief being proved right or wrong, emotional pressure, forced exit, reversal of rules. You believe that the market is going up or down. Now you believe can either be proved right or wrong. Emotional pressure. Some people overcome it. Some people fail in trading because they are not able to manage themselves emotionally. When a position that you have taken is going against you fastly, then you're forced to exit, which create a reverse buying or sell pressure. Reversal of rules. A seller can be a buyer can be a seller anytime. This happens all the time. That rule switching is one of the main engine of the price movement. Simple real life chart logic. Imagine price is at 100. Some traders buy at 100 expecting 1 or 2. Instead price falls to 99.80. Some buyers still hold. Then it falls to 99.50. More buyers get nervous. Then it falls to 99.20. Now buyers say, I need to get out, I need to get out. Their exit are sell orders. At the same time, new bears see weakness and short. Now both groups are selling, so price falls faster. Later prices reaches 98.50. Now some shorts take profit and buy back. And buy back. Some traders see value and buy. Some bears get trapped. If price bounces sharply and must cover, see value and buy. That buying pushes price up. Now this is first scenario. Price नीचे गिर गया यहाँ तक. Okay, now what happens? अब 98.50 तक आ गया 100 से. अब यहाँ तक आते आते some shorts take profit. जिन्होंने शॉर्ट किया था मार्केट 99 पॉइंट कितने पे 50 पे, वो 98.50 पे आ गया. कुछ शॉर्ट्स ने प्रॉफिट बुक कर लिए और कुछ लोगों ने यहाँ से देखा कि यार यहाँ पे अच्छा पुल बैक बाई मिल रहा है, यहाँ पे बाई कर लेते हैं, हो सकता है ऊपर जाए 1 or 2 पहुँच ही जाए. तो लोगों ने यहाँ पे बाई करना स्टार्ट कर दिया. सम बायर्स गेट ट्रैप्ड इफ प्राइस बाउंसेस शार्पली एंड मस्ट कवर. Some bears get trapped if by okay that buying pressure pushes price up. So the move is always a mix of new positions, trapped uh, traders, new positions, trapped traders exiting, winners taking profit. What the author is really teaching? He's teaching that the market is not moved by abstract patterns alone. It is moved by people changing their behavior under pressure. Okay. He's teaching that the market is not moved by abstract pattern alone, it is moved by people changing behavior under pressure. Charts are a real picture of confidence, disappointment, fear, hope, profit taking, post liquidation. You don't. Okay. This is why price action trading is not just pattern recognition, it is understanding who is trapped, who is winning, who is giving up, who is being forced to exit. Online summary: market moves because traders take positions based on belief. Then, when price proves them wrong, they are forced to exit, and then those exit creates the new move. And even simpler version: trader disagrees, one side enters, market moves against one side, the losing side exit. Grid adds fuel to the move. The opposite side eventually gets trapped. Versus okay. भाई ऐसे ऐसे कर ले यार, यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक. Now this. A trader's main job is not. अब पहले वो पैसेज पढ़ लेते हैं वहाँ पे, उसका मतलब क्या था. ज़्यादा लंबा ले लिया क्या? तो यार 3 पेज ले लिए, 38 तक. कहाँ से लेके? डूब के पढ़ते हैं. The passage is basically saying that trader's main job is not to predict every candle, it is to keep answering one question: the market isn't trending or stuck in range. Trend or range is the first and biggest decision. The author is saying that all day long traders are trying to judge whether price is moving with directional force or just moving back and forth. Even one bar is judged this way. It is a strong trend bar or just a weak trading range bars with tails. And if you look at several bars together, the same question remains: trend or range. Why is this so important? Because your behavior changes completely depending on the answer. In a trend up, you are willing to buy even higher prices, sometimes even by the breakout. In the ranges, you do not want to buy the top, you want to buy the low and sell high inside the range. So the chart labeling is not key thing. Calling something a triangle or head and shoulder is secondary. The real question is Is price behaving like a trend or like a range? Now, most of the time, the market is close to balance. The author says that most of the time, the next tick has roughly 50% chance of being up and 50% chance of being down. More broadly, during most of the day, the market often has about equal odds of moving up X point before moving down X point. Only briefly the odds shift a bit, maybe to 60-40, and those brief windows are where trades appear exactly. This means most of the time this is not there is no huge edge. This is why trading feels uncertain. This is why random entries usually do not produce a magical advantage. The market is efficient, so blindly entries are mostly neutral. He gives a very practical example. If you buy randomly without reading the chart and uses an equal target and equal stop, your odds are roughly 50-50. Same if you randomly short. This is because the market is full of the many traders using many methods. So price is usually pretty efficient. So the point is not just buy or sell and hope. The point is wait for moment where price action shift the odds slightly in your favor. That edge is often small, not huge. Good trades usually come from temporary imbalance. भाई खत्म हो गया. Usually comes from a temporary imbalance. Sometimes the market is not balanced. In a strong spike or breakout, the probability of continuation. Good trades usually come from temporary imbalance. Sometimes the market is not balanced. In a strong spike or breakout, the probability of continuation can become meaningfully better than random. The passage says that in a strong spike phase, the continuation over the next few hours may be 70% or more. भाई इसको explain करने के लिए सही है क्या? मतलब देखो, sometimes the market is not balanced. In a strong spike or breakout, the probability of continuation can become meaningfully better than random. The passage says that the strong spike phase continuation over the next few hours, maybe 70% or more. Though this is brief and rare in a strong breakout, if your target is small and the size, then the size of the breakout, chances of getting the profit where before your equal stock get hit maybe 60% or better. You do not need certainty, only need a temporary shift in probability. Not 100 to 0, only 80-20, just 60-40 is enough. Where the real edge often looks like trading language must stay probabilistic. The author says he uses words like usually, likely, probably because that is the most honest way to describe market. Even the best setups are not certain. Trading is done in an what he calls a kind of gray frog. This means a trader must stop looking for certainty. A mature trader thinks like this setup is better than average or it's slightly fewer continuation. This breakout may fail, but follow through is more likely than not. This is real. This breakout may fail, but follow through is more likely than not. You must keep reassessing, not emotionally clinging. One of the most practical part of the passage is where he says everything can change instantly, even without a viable move yet. For example, you may suddenly notice a nearby trend line target and your view flips from wanting to short to wanting to buy for the test for the test upward. He says trading through the rear view mirror is a way to lose money. You must keep looking ahead and keep reassessing the chart, not your past mistake or your P&L. This is huge psychologically. He's saying your last mistake does not. अरे यार पहले इसको स्ट्रीम बंद करते हैं, करेंगे फिर स्ट्रीम करते हैं थोड़ी देर में बाद में, ओके।